Let's start with the very first step of becoming Muslim, which is the rejection of all that you've been told about reality, and to start thinking for yourself, without the bias and contempt that comes with seeking to refute something we had already agreed to reject. There's a repetitive diss in the Quran for those people who just go with what they've been told blindly. وَمَا سَمَعْنَا بِهَذَا فِي آبَائِنَا الْأَوَّلِينَ. The attitude taken must be existential, putting yourself at the center of the universe, as your conscious reality infers. Then contemplate the various patterns around you. Every person has their own path. One might choose to go in depth into studying the orbit of Earth in space, while another chooses to study the effect of this orbit on their agriculture. The Quran is divided into ayat, plural for ayah, which translates into proof, because each of these ayat has a manifestation in reality that, if absorbed into enough, can lead you to seeing the whole truth of reality. The variety of ayat shows the variety of intellectual path humans can take to find true answers to their questions. When you reach a point where you've understood that the whole world is an interconnected system, with one driving force behind it, with these patterns being repeated on both the large and small scales alike, the near and far alike, and on all beings alike, you can start contemplating your origins. Play your consciousness in reverse, with you still at the center of the show, and study the pattern of goodness that this world has been handing out to you. Understand how you on your own could not have survived till now, that at every step you were being aided freely, be it through the orchestration of the maintenance and development of your body, or the supply of clay, the water and soil you were made up of, that was constantly steered towards you before your birth and continues till now. Connect these patterns with the previous understanding of the world as an interconnected structure, with one steering force that is not only profoundly complex and accurate, but also good. You will realize that whatever law is steering it is not blind or random, and that all of the world has to constantly conspire to your own good for you to be provided for. You will now look back at the universe with a slightly different set of eyes. You would see more than shapes and patterns, but a purpose and meaning behind them. You will become more eager to find its provider, if for nothing else than just to say thanks or to express respect, or even out of spite in case your spirit has been defiled and virtues like gratitude are overpowered with negative qualities. Through the contemplation of the provider, you understand your own mortality. You understand that even though you've always been provided for, this supply can be stopped. You've seen it happen to everything from your loved ones, to strangers, animals, and everything else. All of us say we know we will die one day, but when we actually comprehend death and its inevitability, the natural response is fear. Your body identifies a threat to its existence, and the physiological changes are in harmony with the spiritual ones. Your thought productivity increases exponentially, and your body prepares to achieve feats that usually seem beyond the normal human capabilities. The spirit can use this state to answer its question and find its provider. If you find your answer, you will have opened your eyes for the first time. You will sense the real world, just as you can sense the world through our bodily filters. In other words, you'd be removing the veil and opening your third eye. This brings us to the first pillar of Islam. From here on out, you can confidently say that you have witnessed these connections in the universe. You have witnessed that the driving force behind it is good. You have witnessed that there is one force that is moving everything with purpose. This is a shahada, the testimony. Anyone who says this without having actually witnessed what the statement holds is a liar, which is one of the worst actions you can take in Islam. You are a false witness. Unfortunately, the overwhelming majority of self-proclaimed Muslims fall into this category. This moment is the most important stage in Islam, because it's the first time you've established a connection with God. This is what is called salat. If you were standing, you would drop to your knees in awe. This is the second pillar of Islam. This state will be tricky to sustain. You can only answer God's call if you feel worthy of His presence. Because after seeing what you saw, you will understand that there indeed is a hierarchy in the reality, and that you shouldn't fight the urge to respect someone higher up on the hierarchy. The balance of the state is controlled by deeds, your karma. Karma means amal in Arabic and doing in English. Someone that has successfully established prayer, salat, the connection, will still tend to make wrong decisions when the connection fades, because of the spirit's shame of its deeds. Therefore, the Quran recommends trying to establish this connection 5 times a day, along with a disciplined lifestyle, in order to achieve taqwa, which is a permanent connection to God. There is no going back from this state, because you will be able to see right and wrong, the way you can see one way is lit and the other is dark. You would have the cheat code of cheat codes. Think of taqwa as downloading all of reality's relevant history, future, and laws into yourself. You will remember everything, including the pact you made with God in the pre-material world. This is what is meant when the Quran says لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ, in hopes of them remembering. This is what you're remembering. If this has been preceded with a 30-day disciplinary lifestyle, you will achieve enlightenment. This is called the night of valuation, Laylat al-Qadr. This is how you can achieve taqwa, or full enlightenment, following the Abrahamic way. This is the third pillar of Islam. I'll explain the last two pillars in future videos. I'll create videos expanding on some of the ideas compressed in this one, the order of which will depend on your interactions and questions you may have. There are of course many more interesting topics, such as methods of enlightenment and other paths humans may take, such as becoming sorcerers. I explain what magic is and its relation to jinn kind. What order we take depends in the most part on what you're interested in learning about next.